Hello friends, my name is Dr. Awdhesh Singh and today we are going to discuss a very important topic that deals with the people of this country who do not have the privileges of the rich man. Friends, we know very well that almost half of our population is staying below the poverty line, and most of the people staying in the villages and even in the urban India do not have the facilities to actually prepare for their competitions or afford a good standard of living. Now, this hardship can act in two ways. One is that it can make you think that I am a very unlucky person and see the guys who are going to the top convent schools, born of the parents who are very educated, well behaved, who are able to provide best of the facilities to the people. And I am so unlucky that I don't have anything in my life. I have to stay in a small house, I don't have electricity, or maybe I can't get into good schools, and so we may feel very aggrieved. But friend, this hardship can become a motivator to you, and you can use it as a motivator to actually perform best in your life. Now, I think first of all I would like to tell you about myself. I have recently took a voluntary retirement from Indian Revenue Service, Custom and Central Excise. I was in the rank of Commissioner or Additional Director General and posted in Chennai. Before that, I would like to tell you that I got my BTech degree from IIT BHU and then MTech degree from IIT Delhi, and thereafter I joined Indian Revenue Service in 1991. After joining my service in the year 2002, I took a study leave for 2 years and completed my PhD from IIIM Gwalior in the area of e-governance. I developed a passion for writing and I have written so far 2 books, Practicing Spiritual Intelligence and Secret Red Book of Leadership. I also performed outstandingly well in my department. For that, department has given me the highest award, that is Presidential Award, in the year 1990, now in the year 2015, and I have also received more than 10 lakh rupees of rewards for my cases. Now you may be thinking that I am coming from a very privileged family, and therefore I was able to succeed, and maybe you are not having those privileges, your life is very tough, and therefore you are not able to succeed that well. And therefore I have to tell you a background of mine. Now let me go back to the year 1981 when I was writing my 10th board examination. Now everybody in my family expected that I am going to fail, because in my entire khandan or village or in my entire family there was nobody who has been able to pass his 10th in the first go. My father himself has failed once in class 10th and another time in class 11th. And therefore everybody expected that I am not likely to pass this examination. But at the same time there were other reasons as well. Friends, we are a big family. I am 5 brothers and 1 sister. And we stayed in a very small house in an area called Chandganj in Lucknow. And in Chandganj in Lucknow, we were staying in the 2 small, in a 1-room apartment. I just want to show you the picture. The things may be coming a little inverted, so don't worry about that. But I just want to show you the house where we 6 brothers and sisters and my parents lived. So this is you can see that this is a small room. As you can see, my friend, this is the entry, and we had a small bed here where 2 of my brothers sit. Then we had a small study table here, and then study table, 3 of us used to study, me here on this chair, then my brother used to sit on the bed and my sister used to sit here, and all 3 of us study in a single table. Then this was 1 room only, which is 15 by 20 room, and we had a common tube light which used to give light to all the rooms. On the other bedroom, we had my parents and other siblings used to stay. And this was basically a tin roofed house We did not have a pakka house also, and this was having a tin roof, which you can imagine that in the month of summers it used to become very, very hot. And I always studied in the very normal schools, like I did my 10th and from the Centennial Higher Secondary School in Lucknow, which was the junior branch of Christian college, and it was a Christian missionary school. And so we used to pay a fee of almost 10 rupees only for the month. And thereafter my 11th and 12th I did from government Jubilant College in Lucknow, which was again a government schools where the fees was only 12 or 13 rupees, and we used to pay half of the fee. That was only 6 rupees, because I got the 50% concession because of the income of my father. And so we paid just 6 rupees of fee and studied in the government school, which was a Hindi medium school, and we used to study everything in Hindi. And you can very well imagine that what will be my level of preparation. And in fact, in the English class also we used to answer the questions only in Hindi. And so I can very well understand, my friends, that the people who are studying in the Hindi medium, how difficult life they had. We had a tremendously difficult life, because you can understand that if in a one room house, basically we are 6 brothers, sisters, and my parents were staying, then how difficult life could have been. But still I can tell you that I was never thought that as a handicap. Because ultimately for studying, what is most important is that you should have a desire to study. Many of my friends came from a very well-to-do family, and they had parents who were very educated. For example, one of my friend, his father was the gold medalist in Roorkee University, which was considered to be the top university before the IITs was set up. And 2 of his elder brothers were studying in IIT Kanpur that time. And therefore he had all the guidance available to him from his parents and also from his brothers. But still I never thought myself as somebody who is lacking, because there is no point blaming which you cannot change. And therefore I totally focused on my studies, and I decided not to crib over what I did not have. So I remember those days, my friend, that it used to be very hot in the summers. And still sometime I will just switch off my fans, because if the fan will be on, then I will be feeling sleepy. And therefore I used to even switch off the fan, because when it used to sweat a lot, in that situation I never used to feel asleep. And therefore I was able to focus myself totally on my subject. So I was talking about the high school, that in the high school when I was, then everybody expected me to fail, because there was nobody in my village and nobody in my family who has ever passed the high school. But I scored 77.2% marks with 4 distinctions in physics, in the science, maths, English, and also in geometrical science, that is used to be called technical science, and got the first rank in the school. And thereafter I studied in the government Jubilant College, where I was having best of the friends, and they were all better off than me. But I used to study very hard, and it was a challenge for me. I always used to think that even though I was a handicapped person, in the sense that my father never taught me. I never remember that my father has ever taught me, and my mother was just class 5th pass. And so naturally I cannot expect that my mother would have taught me. But I never felt that I had any sort of handicap, and I worked very hard. Friends, I remember that I used to get up 5 in the morning, and then before I used to go to school, which used to start somewhere, I used to start around 7 o'clock. Then I will have around 2 hours of study done in the morning itself. And then I will go to school and complete my studies, and then I will come back, and around say 1 o'clock, we used to go by a bicycle. My school was around 6 to 7 kilometers away. And then I will come home at around say 1 or 1 o'clock, totally drenched in sweat, and thereafter I will take my lunch and then take rest. And thereafter I will sit for my studies, and then I think by evening, I think I will be doing just studies. I will take a break for a small time, and then I will continue to do my studies. Because you see, I always believe that the hardship makes you hungry for things, because somebody whose stomach is already filled, he doesn't feel the craving for the food. But somebody whose stomach is empty and he has not eaten food for a long time, there is no guarantee that he is going to get the food. For him the fruit look much sweeter. And so the people who are coming from a very well-off family and studying in the best convent schools, and they have the best teacher to guide at their home, and their parents are also very well educated, they often they often lack the motivation. They often lack the motivation because they don't see, they have not struggled for anything in their life, and therefore they tend to not succeed. And therefore whenever you see the merit list of whether IIT or engineering or anything, you will find a lot of people coming from middle class families into these things, because they are the people who are hungry for things in life. So I want to tell you that let the hardship never deter you for doing anything. So friend, I did my 12th, and the same year I wrote my examination, and I got selected into IIT Roorkee and MNR, which used to be the Regional Engineering College, and conducting the examination for the UP. And in those days, the MNR syllabus was aligned with the syllabus of UP board, and but the syllabus of other things like IITs were different. But nevertheless, I got the 14th rank in the UP board despite of all the handicap, and I got selected into IIT as well as Roorkee. And so I chose ITBHU for getting my further education, which I did my mechanical engineering. And friends, all these handicaps which I had, all the difficult time in which I have, actually I used it as a motivation. I always used to think that I am blessed, that I am having these challenges to conquer, and my satisfaction will be definitely greater than the satisfaction of those people who are blessed with with all the things in their life. Now, after I did my BTech, then I joined one company called Larsen and Toubro, which was a very prestigious company. And then after working for 1 year, I found that I am not perhaps fit for or suited for working in the corporate, and I wanted to go into the government service. And thereafter I joined IIT Delhi for doing my MTech. And the reason for joining IIT was mainly because I was getting a scholarship, because I will get a scholarship of 1800 rupees those days, which was which is very good sum. And so along with doing my MTech, I also prepared for civil services. And so it was a doubly difficult task, because we have to attend 4 hours of lectures every day, and thereafter in the afternoon I used to study for my civil services examination. And I never neglected my MTech, because I had a very clear cut thought that if I don't get selected into the civil services, I will go for teaching, and MTech will give me an entry to the teaching world, in the academic world. And so I also got 8.54 grade point in my MTech in IIT Delhi, and at the same time I also got selected into IRS custom exercise in the first attempt itself. But it was not always so simple, because I still remember, I had a very difficult time when I was on the verge of writing my civil services examination. That time I also wrote Indian Forest Service examination, and Indian Forest Service examination was generally considered to be easier competition than the competition for civil services examination. But nevertheless, I found that in the month of December, when the results were declared, I had failed to clear the Indian Forest Service examination, and then I was totally shattered. And in the same year, what happened that I was asked to vacate the hostel, because my MTech was completed and I did not know where to go, because my parents were not in a position to support me. As you can very well understand that they had my 5 brothers and sisters to support. And so I in order to survive, I decided to take some tuitions, and I also took tuitions for at least 2-3 months till I got my admission into PhD course, so that I can survive and prepare for civil services examination for further attempt. And so my friends, when these difficulties were there, I did not get any support from my parents, because they were not in a position to support. But that nevertheless never found any way in my achieving my goals. And so all the people all of you who are not that blessed with the great parentage, and who are not blessed with a lot of wealth, and who cannot afford to go to the good schools, they should never think that they are in a handicap, because ultimately if you have a determination, then you can learn directly from the books, and even without going to a coaching or any tuition. And nowadays there are so many things which are available online. For example, Unacademy, which is providing you lectures online, and a lot of material is also available on internet. And so if you do not have the resources to afford the coachings, then you can always prepare at your home and buy the books, and you prepare at home, and that itself is going to give you the success. Now, so finally, my friends, I would like to just conclude that you should never think that your life is difficult, because if your life is difficult, then you must think that the God has given you a challenge, God has given you an opportunity to prove yourself and get what you really deserve in your life. And I also want to tell you that there is no point blaming anybody, whether it is your schools or your parents or your country or your fellow friends, for your failure, because I always say that even if you have a 100 reasons to fail, then your failure is not going to convert it into success. Ultimately, you have to succeed only by effort, because success needs no explanation, while failure remains a failure even if you have got 1,000 explanations. So never try to discover any explanation for your hardships or difficulties. Always make it a point that despite all these hardships, you are going to succeed, and you have to keep motivating yourself. And we already see so many people, like you have a tea seller becoming the prime minister of this country, and you also have a newspaper seller who became the president, Abdul Kalam, who became the president of India. And therefore we can find plenty of examples. Even in the corporate world, you have seen a Narayan Murthy, who is coming from a middle class family, and still he created Infosys, which has become one of the most respected brand in this country, and he created a huge wealth and a great amount of employment. And so never think that the hardship is going to deter you from achieving your goals. And you must always believe that the hardship is a challenge, and you have to overcome that challenge and succeed in your life. So this is the message which I want to give you to all the people who are not that blessed and who are not that fortunate to be born in a good family, that never get down by these hardships, and always keep motivating, always keep telling yourself that millions of people have succeeded despite of the hardship, and you too are going to succeed despite all that. And so keep your moral very high and keep working hard, and I am very sure that one day you will achieve the dreams which you aspire to achieve. Wish you all the best. Thank you very much for watching my video. God bless you.